Hello, everyone. Welcome to Subtle Changes. We have the myth, the man, the legend, Mr. Rocky Russo. Rocky, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. So, before we get started here, how about you give us a little idea of who Rocky is?
Well,
A lot of stuff going on there.
yeah. Always fun to try to describe yourself in a few sentences. Second born boy, middle child. And,
Nice.
I grew up in a very competitive household. I really feel littered with a lot of value and moral. And I imagine we'll get into some of that today and some of the lessons along the way. But there was always a desire for the winning spirit, you know. Second born, I'm chasing my older brother who's 15 months older than me, but I always felt like I should be able to compete with him and his friends.
You guys all play sports?
Yeah. Grew up playing football mostly, played through college a little bit, and
What college?
out of high school I had a few offers, but nothing that I really wanted. I went and played at a junior college, Saddleback, here in Orange County.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They actually had a really good football team.
They did, yeah. I
Yeah.
was there the year after Colt Brennan went to Hawaii. So I wanted to follow in his footsteps. I love surfing and
Hawaii boy.
yeah. So ended up going, but I had broken my ankle my third year at Saddleback. I'd medical gray shirted a year, a foot surgery I had to get a screw in there now and stuff. It's a brutal game, that football, but it definitely helps shape you. But so I went to Hawaii after that, but didn't play anymore. Just stuck to surfing, and then transmuted all that competitive energy into other things like business and helping people and helping myself in ways that I would discover I needed, which has kind of become a lot of my calling and my mission. Yeah.
What are you doing to help yourself right now?
Right now,
I know we were just talking about ayahuasca before, but what else?
No big medicine journeys lined up at the moment, but I'm sure I'll get a schedule for one here pretty soon. This year is a lot of like scalable growth in business. We've had a cool boom these past few years. You know, that concept of just pounding nails that I use often, or the second coat of paint that no one wants to do. We can get into that a little bit with the house I built in Hawaii. And
I don't know. Yeah, you built a house in Hawaii?
yeah.
What part?
It's South Hilo on the Big Island.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, just into Puna. So I'm a Punatic.
You built it with your own hands?
Yeah, bro. I built some skateboard ramps and bird houses, and somehow felt like I was qualified to go build my own house after that. But that was one of the definite lessons and moments that shaped me too. Was having that just divine faith that we're gonna do this. I'm gonna buy the lumber, and the right people are gonna show up to help me when I need it. So we rent it out now when I'm not there. When I'm there, I got a sweet place to stay. It's a tiny home off grid, like kind of the complete opposite
You have
setup.
like natural spring water that you get.
It rains a bunch there, so we use that as like gray water, so we can shower in it, wash our hands and stuff like that. But that there's natural springs that we go fill up 5-gallon jugs with, and so we keep that always available. Great water, It's a special place to be and just completely unwind, detach. And fortunately, I built a virtual business, so I can bring that with me and do it from my tiny hut in Hawaii now.
Did you build like a yurt, or what did you actually? Is it
No.
2 stories or just single story kind of square box?
Sort of, yeah. It's a 12 by 16 interior, kind of like a studio setup. You open it up, and there's a bed, there's a couch, this countertop with a sweet custom epoxy. It's like building a surfboard, but turning it into a countertop.
Sure.
And it's up on stilts, so it's like 6 feet up. So
In case if it floods or whatever.
yeah, and it's also just nice for like catching the wind, catching the trades and stuff through there. It just adds kind of like a natural cooling. It adds storage down below, we're gonna do a little under room as well. So if when someone comes to stay, I can give my folks or whoever the nice space, and I'll just go down in the little hut underneath. But
Where all the snakes are.
yeah, no snakes in Hawaii, man. Yeah, no snakes. But yeah, that was a cool lesson. And just each time I remember like I had all this lumber, and it had just been pissing rain for like 2 months, relentless. And I'm sleeping in a tent at the time, looking at all this
For 2 months?
Oh, longer than that. Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, we'd set up there's a big luau tent, and then underneath the luau tent I had my tent. So there's double layers, but it's still when it's that wet all the time, everything just gets mildewy,
drenched and
yeah.
mildewy, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, what am I doing here again?
Yeah.
And just looking at these, a few $1,000s worth of lumber sitting there just getting drenched and saying, I need to build this thing. Finally, the rain lets up, rainbows pop out as they do there. And I'm looking at all this lumber like, I need to do something with it. Just then, one of our local uncles shows up. Hey, boy, heard you need to put in the floor today. I'm like, that'd be great, yeah. So I learned how to do Roman leveling that day. He shows me, and he doesn't want anything for it. It's just, we're here to help each other.
Wow.
And I think that's a good depiction of, what you put out, you get back. So I built that whole house. I didn't build it. I mean, I played a part in it for sure, but I was more of the gopher, and I learned a lot along the way. A lot about construction, but a lot about just life too, So to just recognize when we need to frame the house, another uncle shows up. Oh boy, you need to frame this thing. Well, I'll show you. And then all of a sudden there's like 12, maybe 8 or 10 other dudes all show up helping.
Dude.
And, I'd buff them out with beer and cook for them and stuff. And there's a few times I slipped $100 bill in their trucks, and they're like, I don't need your money. I'm like, well, thank you, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a house without you. So, yep, it's still there. We'll be there. I was just there last week. I'll be there. I got a retreat coming up in March.
What are you doing at your retreat? You do retreats out there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Medicine journey retreats, or
we've explored that a little bit. There's
more yoga stuff or
there's
meditation?
a yoga backbone, yeah. So the retreat's called CRAVE, and stands for Community, Reverence, Awareness, Vulnerability, Empowerment. And I actually built the concept in grad school. When I wanted to just get the best coaches and practices and teachers and healers together in one space to share their magic and help others to grow and nourish their purpose. So you have this backbone of uncovering your life blueprint. So back in, we can get into this if you want, but in like 2014 through 2018, I call it my 4-year monkship. I had said I'd stop believing in beliefs, they're too compounding, and I really wanted to just rediscover who I was after kind of climbing the ladder in the corporate world and getting to the essential top at 24 years old, and feeling like this, I am not happy. Engaged to a supermodel, and
you were engaged to a supermodel?
Yeah, she's great. We still keep in touch.
Okay. I didn't know that.
She's beautiful. Yeah. And she's a great girl. We were super young, and thought I was doing it all the right way, climbing the ladder, and got to the proverbial top, the top that I wanted to be at, and just feeling so unhappy with, what I was going to work to do, and the bastardization of something I loved as much as health and fitness. And now it's just numbers. And I'm like, I care about these people and their results. The numbers are important. I understand that. But so one day I just quit my job, quit my wife, and moved to Costa Rica. And that kind of started my 4-year monkship, where I wanted.
So you never got married, though?
No.
No, so you just broke off the engagement.
Yep. Yeah. Took the ring back.
Oh, boy.
After a year.
Still have that thing? Just waiting for the right one?
I do still have the band. I resold the diamond and bought a sweet mountain bike that I still have the mountain bike. Yeah.
Serves you much better.
Yeah. It's much more productive. But yeah, that was a good season. I don't always push the 4-year monkship as a way of doing that, but I think regularly challenging our structures is a healthy thing. And at that time, I really needed to just, everything was on the chopping block. So,
Wow.
I was raised very non-denominational Christian, but a good Christian boy.
Yep.
And at that time, I'm like, I don't know if this is serving me. So that went, but then it's like, well, what do I believe in then? So there was 4 years where I was okay with recognizing I don't believe in beliefs; they're too compounding. I want to just see where I naturally am led. Until I found the life mission, which is I set my retreat based off of that. A lot of the work that I do in life coaching is based on, we have to have our own set of first principles. And even as a coach, I need to know what your first principles are. So I'm not coaching from my perspective. I want to meet you where you're at,
Sure.
because those are your truths. And if you don't know them, let's get to know them.
What was it like quitting your job, breaking the relationship with your fiance? I want to go back to that. How much fear did you have going into that? And what was that whole process like? How long did it take you to realize that this is what you need to do? Because most people, they just don't abruptly chop it all off and go cold turkey and go to the next thing. You know what I mean?
You're right. And I think for me, it took about 4 months. About 4 months from the time that
you first had the thought.
I'd had the thought maybe 5-6 months prior, but it was January that I took the ring back, and it wasn't until April. I say in that January to April, her and I were kind of living in this purgatory where we'd see each other on occasion, and it was, a little bit of, call it meaningless sex, but we're still together, but not. And are we working on this?
She's a supermodel, so
yeah. And great, great chick. Just we'd grown apart from each other. So at that time, I recognize every time I'm going into my boss's office, it's to close the door behind me, because I knew we were getting into another yelling match. And one day, I decided I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to yell. So I left the door open and said, "Yep, this isn't the right fit anymore. I want to go back to actually helping people. I don't think that I'm doing that here."
Was that like at a big gym chain or what?
Yeah.
Where was it?
It was at all the 24-hour fitnesses. So I ran. Wow. I mean, such a great journey in there that really helped shape my character. Was really one of the youngest people to be in that role. But it served me well, and then it was time to go. So I ran a couple of the gyms out in Hawaii, and so that was my first management gig out there in Hawaii Kai. What a great club that was. But then the grass is always greener. The biggest club became available on the island, the Kapiolani Supersport. And so I was killing it at Hawaii Kai, a smaller club. So I threw my name in and I got the job. And then I'm like, whoa, I'm in over my head. Whoa. When I'm like a 23-year-old haole boy trying to manage all these older Hawaiian men that are just, I don't want to listen to you.
Right.
Trying to break through to
Feel
that.
inferior.
Yeah. And, so it all worked out the right way. The Triangle Supersport became available, and I grew up going to the Triangle as a special place for me in Costa Mesa, Newport. And Grandpa was just really sick at the time, so I said, I don't need to be here. Yeah. And my fiance keeps going back to the mainland. Maybe I'm being called to go back, and so killed the interview. And next thing I knew, I was coming back to California, and that was end of 2013.
Long time ago.
A little while ago. I've lived many lives, bro. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you?
37.
37. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But, so that lasted, November, December, January. My last day was, I think I made it through April. I said I'd finish out the month of April, and then I'm on my own. So the question about the fear, though, there's a definite amount, there's certainly fear in that. I've always taken comfort in knowing, like going back to the family thing, like I have this safety net of of love, where I know if I'm down and out, like I'm not going to die. I'll be okay. And did I have to call on that? Not like necessarily like financially, but I went and moved in for a while after I was, you know what, like I just want to be around family. Went and stayed with my grandmother for a few months, which turned into a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
But that really helped like springboard me into this monkship. Like I'm not out at the bars and dating a bunch of chicks. In fact, if you use the word date and I was hanging out with you, I would give you the deuces. I'm out of here. You know, I wanted to just date myself, and
Yeah.
I really was for those 4 years. But yeah, definitely a pivotal time and a test of character and a need for a new structure, because I was without one at that, you know, during that time. But that's what I asked for. Like I want to be coagulant and fluid right now.
Are you still the same way?
No. Yes, in a lot of ways, but I
No,
still have
yes.
my.
Which one?
Well, I'm a Gemini, man. Yeah, I can adapt. But it was in 2016 that I went on it was actually at a yoga event, a big festival up in Tahoe, and met a guy that I would then follow to a lot of the parts of the world, named Ian Finn, and his company's called Blissology, and it's yoga, and it's great yoga, but it's such an emphasis on the soul and who you are as a person and your character. And so he has this term called the life mission, and everybody who goes through his practice, his teaching, uncovers their life mission. And to me, that was now finally I had a mantra, words to live by that were my truth. And it helped shape me so much. That's what's
your mantra?
So the mantra that's on my actual life mission, you get a little, you draw it and write it out on this banner thing. I still have it. It's to be an infinite flow of light. So that's the mission. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And then I've since adapted. Okay, well, what about like if my life was like a business? We have our mission statement, our vision statement, our core values as a business.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. I think a lot of people don't do that deep of work on themselves. You know, we're so addicted to the phones and scrolling and other people's opinions of us.
Sure.
We don't even know who the hell we are. So we've since adopted the mission and then added the vision and the core values. And so we call it building your ship. So when you build your ship, you build your life blueprint.
And this is through your personal coaching business that
Correct.
you do?
Yeah. So we all do this in kind of like my upper level classes. We introduce it in the like the last months, the last phases of our fitness. We say that fitness is the door to open up so much more. You know, we really feel like we're building and walking through these doors to greatness. That's what I bring to my clients and to my programs, to my retreats.
So you get them physically healthy first. You do the diet thing with them too. Get them on a good diet.
Yeah, 100%. That's a big piece of it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
what you put in your body is what you're going to get out, right?
100%, man. And I use the example often that we can like add a new exhaust to your car or put a sweet spoiler on it and maybe get a few extra horsepower. But if we do a full engine swap, that's going to be a bigger difference, a much bigger difference.
Totally.
So when we reteach your metabolism that it's a hybrid machine, we've got a very specific protocol to do that. People's entire energy systems change, their physical appearance change, their confidence goes way up, and it generally leads to this level of self-care, which we hope then transpires to self-like, self-love, and then it's a maintenance.
Yep.
But then it always repeats, right? You get to the next level
Good
of
old
life,
maintenance.
and then you gotta keep growing. So yeah, we use that as the backbone in our upper level stuff. So we call it legacy coaching, which is more like the actual like life coaching, life mastery coaching, to use as a backbone. And then we use a term called the horizon line. So if we are in agreement of you and your first principles, then I can operate under your truths as a coach to provide the mirror. I'm going to hold you to the standard of your horizon line, which answers the question, how good could it get? So if we know where we're going and we know what you're built on, then it's a process of putting one foot in front of the other. We use different tools like the wellness wheel to keep ourselves in check and know if we're watering this part of the garden too much, we can reallocate some of our energy to this part of the garden.
How long you been doing that for?
The life coaching work?
Yeah.
It's kind of what I did in grad school. So that was like since 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. So
like 8 years.
Yeah.
7 years.
And like arguably much longer. I just didn't have the tools necessarily. That's why I went back to school for it, and I found a great program. But I would say, like, even as a trainer, why I was so effective as a coach, if a client would come in and I could see that they were in distress, sometimes we wouldn't even go work out. I'd go find a dark room and we'd just chat. So I've always, I don't know if it's the middle child in me or what, but I love people. And if there's suffering, I want to try to help ease that if I can.
Yeah.
And remind them that you are more than enough. You're doing great things in the world. And if you've forgotten that, then let's remember that. And then your health can be a reflection of that so that you can do more of that. Yeah.
And you don't do medicine journeys?
I do medicine journeys.
You do?
Yeah,
Just haven't done ayahuasca. You've done psilocybin?
Oh, plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a structured environment, or more like
both.
let's go to Burning Man.
Yeah, both.
Go have some fun.
You can find a structured environment in Burning Man too, but
I doubt that.
it's a long journey, man. But yeah, both, and there's so much that I've gotten from medicines. A lot of it just like the crystallization of ideas and thoughts that you are now able to see because there's no veil anymore, or at least a lot less of a veil, right? Yeah. So it helps just ground these ideas that I think the deep thinkers and the philosophers just, we know there's answers out there, but it helps us to.
Do you try to incorporate it in your practice? Or do you kind of keep that separate and that's just your own personal journey type of deal?
I don't bring a ton of it into the practice. Especially like when I think of even the way I structure my retreats, I like to be a broker of people. And if there's somebody who's, I know plenty of medicine women and men and shamans that like, that's what you've devoted your life to. I'd rather you be the voice of that so that we can stay in our lanes. But, I don't hide it either.
Sure.
Yeah. We're talking about it now, but, yeah, there's so much that you can get from, God's medicine. But.
So, okay. So you do a lot of different things though, right? This is not the only thing that you do. So I know that, you're also a reality TV star from, I know this is a big secret, like a year ago or something like that. I remember it's like Rocky disappeared for X amount of time and couldn't say where he was, what he was doing. And then he came back, and then you still said you couldn't tell anybody. And then sure enough, it came out, right?
Yeah, I got to keep those NDAs wrapped up tight. But it's all out now. That show aired this past summer. We had a lot of fun watching.
What was the show?
It was a 90 Day Fiance spinoff called Hunt for Love.
Oh, it's a spinoff of it.
Yeah, they've got so many spinoffs. I didn't know a damn thing about that show, and I really.
How do you even get involved with something like reality TV? Do you have to send in a video? Do they find you?
Yeah, in this case, they found me.
They found you.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
through your social media.
Mm-hmm, yeah, as a recruiter just slid into my and I don't have like at the time I think I had maybe like
a recruiter found you.
Yeah, they have the like headhunters that just look for people to fit a mold.
What?
Yeah, and so then they
I wonder how much they make.
Yeah, it's a good
I'm
question.
intrigued.
Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah. But then they introduce you to, I think they work for the production company. I'm not sure. They might be a separate entity, so don't quote me on that. But then once we passed that initial test, and for her it was like, are you single?
What was the test? Just talking?
The initial slide into my DMs was, are you single? We think you'd be great for a new reality TV show. And I said, well, okay, what's the catch? What's the premise? Because it's happened to me before for like The Bachelorette and stuff, and I went to the second interview process.
The Bachelorette?
Yeah, and then I said,
damn,
well,
Rocky.
Man, I don't know, like, I can't really fake it. If I'm not into the girl, I'm not really going to show up to the thing. So
right.
If it was The Bachelor and everybody's fighting for me, that was a different story, But So
Yeah, but if you're, competing against 18 guys for one chick, it's like,
yeah, like, and I'm a win,
stupid.
I want to win. So, and so if like, how hard am I really going to sell this if I'm not really into it? I wasn't really feeling it. So, fast forward to, I don't know, 4 years later, and this happens again. It's, okay, what's the premise? And she said, no weird thing. You don't have to get married. You don't have to do anything weird. We're just going to send you and a bunch of other hot singles to paradise somewhere beautiful. And hopefully you make a connection. You're going to go on some dates and hopefully fall in love, and we'll be rolling the whole time. I said, that sounds great. Sign me up. How do I do it? So went to the next level of interviews. And by the time it was time to actually go, we ended up going to Tulum. They couldn't reveal that at the time.
So you guys went to Tulum.
Yeah, we went to
How
Tulum.
long were you in Tulum for?
3 weeks. Yeah.
All expenses paid.
Yeah. And then they paid us too, a little bit, which was enough for me to justify, okay, if I put my business
aside
on hold a little bit. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's virtual. I could still do a lot when I was down there, but I tried to really be present while I was there. But yeah, we ended up being, you had to do blood work, a couple of psych exams. You met with multiple producers.
Blood work for what?
You're on a confined area, and
they want to make sure you're not going to have a heart attack or something, or
that also that you're not going to be transferring any Hep B or
hepatitis C or HIV type stuff
to anybody else in the retreat, because you get to your.
What about like STDs? What if you had an STD? Would they?
That's what I mean. Yeah, like all of that kind of stuff. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah,
and they'd let everyone know if you had an STD.
Right. Well, they would just disqualify you, say you didn't pass. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Fortunately, I'm clean, so I went. And,
nice.
That was definitely a moment that I didn't. I kind of thought about it at the time, but I remember getting that call that, hey, we want you there. We need you there in X amount of weeks, and we'll send over the packing list and all that. So it was official. I'm in. And I remember receiving that call. I was at my a business partner's house in Huntington Harbor, and she had just stepped out, so I received the call by myself, and I just stood there and I put my hands up in the air, and I just relished in that moment of like, fuck yeah, I don't know what's about to happen, but there's I'll be on TV, and we'll do the best at it. And but I'm proud of the way I showed up. I know that a lot of the work that I do on myself was able to at least translate to the screen.
Have you watched it yourself?
Yeah, man, we had watch parties every Monday. Yeah, they kept growing too as I became more of a relevant,
character.
Yeah, because they highlighted the veterans. Most of the people who've been. So there's 8 people who have been on the show previously, different seasons and stuff. So can these familiar faces find love in beautiful Tulum with these 8, or 16 sexy singles, and so I didn't know one person from another. I'm just getting to know everyone as I do, and it turns out the girl I really had a connection with was a megastar. Everybody loves her from the series.
Previous show.
Yeah, her name's Tiffany, and she's
Tiffany.
Yeah, and Tiffany is
it's like a stripper name.
I'll tell her you said
Ferrari and Tiffany.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video where the guy goes through the crazy matrix about women?
Oh yeah.
And I think it's like a cop. He's like a guy from the FBI or something. Yeah. And he's like, and if her name's Tiffany, she's a total stripper.
Yeah. This one is not
super hot and crazy means she's probably a stripper.
She's wonderful, and she's great human. We still keep in close contact. She actually just jumped on my Christmas party for my coaching group, because so many of my clients now found me from the show and realized I do what I do, and wanted to change their body and change their life. And so I said, we got a guest appearance coming for our Christmas party. So she came on, did a cool Q&A and stuff, and yeah, she's awesome. But yeah, my role, my mantra every day there was authentic and relevant, because it's easy to be relevant if you just cause some drama on those shows.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing about reality TV. It's
right.
they want the drama because it gets the clicks. It's clickbait, right?
Yeah.
So
And it keeps, I mean, so many people who are just living life and they want to have their escape. It's like, oh, I'm not the only one with drama in my life, or whatever the dialogue is. I don't know. So how can I show up in this world I know is primarily this, and be a beacon of something that's authentic, that I'm going to be proud of the way that I showed up, but still be relevant. So I played my game, and I think I did a good job. Ended up going away with Tiffany. We made a connection at the end, so I feel like I'm a winner. And
when you say going away, what does that mean? Like inside
by
your
the-
hotel room?
now by the end, you're supposed to, basically, did you make a connection?
Were you
And if
making
so-
out on camera? I haven't
Well,
seen it.
Bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Come on,
that
man.
obviously means yes.
A little bit. We both keep it classy, and I was a slow roll, so I put a lot of lines out. I said, we're here for 3 weeks. I don't want to be the guy that's just pissing on a fire hydrant and saying this is my territory. Like, I know we have a connection.
Right.
We both feel it. Let's go explore our options, and then when it comes back to us, then great, we're gonna send it. And so that's what we did, and it worked out well.
So are you dating her?
Well, we did for like a little while after. She lives in D.C.
Washington,
Couple kids.
D.C.?
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
No, but we're planning a trip.
I'm going out there at the end of March into April if you want to roll out.
I'm down.
And then you can go see Tiffany. And sorry, Tiffany, for calling you a stripper. I was just joking. You're not a stripper.
No, she knows she's.
But hey, I'll be going out there to go see the nation's capital.
I'm
It's when-
down.
It's
Let's
when
go.
all of the cherry blossom trees start blooming there.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I was told to go there kind of during that time. So go check out the White House. Go check out,
Yeah.
basically everything that there's there to see. So much history. I always see it in the movies. I always see it on camera. You turn, if you watch like the news, but all these senators sitting there, at the Capitol and stuff. And I think it'd be pretty cool to go
Yeah, we got to
check out the Smithsonian Museum.
Heck yeah.
There's a lot of cool shit out there.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah.
After my retreat, so you can come to my retreat in March, and then after that we'll come back, touch down, and then go to the other side.
The
of
retreat in
country.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
How long is that for?
6 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there dieting involved?
No.
No?
I mean, we have a great chef, mostly the good Ayurvedic prana filled awesome food, and then but you're free to bring your own stuff too. We keep it pretty lax, but it's a sweet setup. And we take you through each of the days. So all about community. Let's create this container, this bond here of the people that are in here. For reverence, we're going to go see Madame Pele, the resident goddess, the volcano. Bring an offering and have dinner up there. Awareness is a lot of like mindfulness day, so we'll have like eye gazing, affirmations, that kind of stuff, and then vulnerability. I think we're gonna go surfing, go to the beach, hang out there.
Nice.
Yeah, and then empowerment is a lot of like family constellation work, and so some good inner work, but it's at a sweet center with a cold plunge, infrared sauna, jacuzzi.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Send me the dates.
I will, bro. Yeah, I will.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what's it like now coming off that show, and what are you trying to achieve now after doing that whole, would you do it again?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You would? So if they invite you back, Rocky's going back for round 2 with Tiffany?
In order to do that, it would be like we have to kind of be like planning an engagement, because that's that whole premise of that show apparently is about falling in love with someone from another
And
country.
getting engaged.
Well,
Let's get you on a plane to Washington, D.C., Let's get this thing fast tracked.
Let's go.
So Rocky can go
Let's
back
go.
to reality
go.
TV,
Yeah.
get engaged.
Yeah, I'd like to do like dating and being on camera and being charismatic and myself that's fun and fine and good. It'd be fun to showcase like something like skills on Survivor or like Traders or something like that.
Survivor.
Yeah.
You'd want to be on Survivor?
Heck yeah.
Like Survivor dating show?
We could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have a Survivor dating?
I just figured they probably would.
Probably
considering,
should, yeah. Yeah, they probably
I'm
should.
sure I think they have like 50 Survivor shows now. It's like season 50 or
Yeah,
something.
I think they're
like
on
that.
season 50 now.
That's
yeah.
so wild. They're still
It's
doing it.
insane. Yeah.
So you would want to be on Survivor.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I could see you on that.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm open to like what comes my way. Just like this, I didn't know I was calling it in.
You an Eagle Scout?
No, but I have a lot of Mormon friends.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's me.
Yeah, I know. So I've learned a lot of things along the way, So yeah, building a house, I learned a thing or two.
We built many houses
Well,
back
yeah,
in the
I
day.
bet. Heck yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the good Lord has in store, and if it feels aligned, then we'll take it. Otherwise, I'm just continuing to do what I've been doing, which is.
What's the end goal? What are you really trying to achieve?
I would look, to look back at any chapter of life and say those were the good old days. And to come barreling into my grave like hair on fire, feeling like I'd really lived it up and enjoyed all of it and helped as many people as possible. So the way that I feel that like I'm most equipped to do that is through holistic fitness and teaching people to love themselves more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like as time goes on here, as technology increases, particularly with, artificial intelligence and all of this AI that's occurring, I think you're going to have a vast job displacement happen. And I think that when that happens, a lot of people are going to lose a sense of purpose because, anything done at a computer will be automated out of AI. And that's just a fact.
Yeah.
So when that happens, I have a feeling what you're doing is going to be in much need of service, You should start to see in the next 5 years, probably a shit ton of growth start happening.
I would imagine so. And that's good. Yeah. It's good foresight. I try to keep my pulse on like the major things that are happening in the world, but I actually made it a resolution in 2025 to watch more TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I felt
Just
like
to be more self-aware what's going on?
Yeah, more aware of what's going on in the world a little bit, and just kind of like to be up on some of the pop culture of things. Like I love my world that I've created, but it almost is like, okay, I enjoy it, but it's kind of selfish because then I want, can I participate in that conversation? Or, I'd much just rather write a song and play my ukulele than sift through the million different options that I don't know which one's going to be good or bad. So, but yeah, it's been a good journey to intentionally go into TV. I keep my TV behind a set of Chinese doors because usually when I'm on Zoom calls anyways, it's
close it off.
Yeah. So if I'm going to go in to watch something, I have to take the Chinese doors, and it's a small step, but it's just one more thing that just adds intention to what am I going in here for?
I'll put like kind of like a big silk cloth with something on it, and I'll toss it over the TV. So intentionally, when you're going to watch the TV, you have to pull that thing off.
Yeah, perfect.
To have intention of like, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm actually going to watch this thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's there and you're like, dink, boom, it's on. It's blabbering in your face.
Yeah, just so annoying. And when it's not on, it's just this big black hole on the wall. It's just not. Like, if I don't have my Chinese door up, I'll just like put animals and nature on so that there's just like something peaceful in the background.
I wanted to get there's Samsung makes it, but have you seen it? It's like a white frame, and it's a frame it looks like a picture frame.
I have
but
seen
it's
that,
the actual TV.
Yeah.
So you can like set it on like just a picture, like really high definition, and you can't even tell that that's a TV. And it's really cool because you can change the different pieces of art that are on it. I really wanted to get that, so it looks like
that might be the next.
Yeah.
If I hold true to this,
rather than just a big black hole on your wall, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. Or else you're putting Chinese doors over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Chinese doors are nice. Yeah. Yep. But it's been a journey, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that you wrote. You're talking about ukulele, but you've written a single on the ukulele.
I've got. I actually.
Did you bring it with you? You want to play it?
I I almost did, man.
Oh,
if you go
fuck.
back through my podcast, a lot of the early ones.
Should have. Oh shit!
Is-
Could have had
is
you come
me
and sing
playing.
a song on it, dude. That would have been cool.
Yeah, next time, man.
Next time.
You got to bring your drum kit.
Yeah. Good luck with that one.
I'll bring a djembe. You could just add some percussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the djembe.
Djembe's great. It's got so many different tones to it.
It does.
And
It
it goes
does.
super deep bass on it.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, wrote the song. It's like the only in studio song that I've like gone through and done. It's still a demo, but it's out. It's on Spotify. It's called Old Fashioned.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's the song that I sang to Tiffany on our date on the show.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Dude, you're gonna marry her. This is gonna happen, man.
Well, we'll go to DC and get it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I have probably, I don't know, 80 to 100 songs that I've written. I've written poetry for like since I could write. I mean, me and my little bro wanted to be in a boy band back in like the 5th or 6th grade.
Oh,
you know?
yeah?
Yeah, so we wrote really good songs back then. But after that fizzled out, I still wanted to write. It's how I like to express a lot of my feelings and crystallize what's going on in my head and heart.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until COVID actually that I messaged my folks and said, "Hey, remember that ukulele I had? Can you send that to me or something?" And they're like, "Oh, we sold that thing a long time ago." But,
Oh man.
But sure enough, they sent me this care package of. In the care package was a new ukulele. It was like a nice just starter uk, and my father is hilarious. But one of those blow up T-Rex outfits. Because everybody was about social distancing at the time, so he said, "You can go out in public."
That's
You're
hilarious.
crazy, Dad.
That's
But
pretty
yeah.
funny. It sounds like he has a good sense of humor.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, my father's still one of my biggest role models, and he's brings a lot of light into mine and plenty of other lives. But a lot of like my early memories and thinking about some of the moments that shaped me. Go back to him and some of the less, as he calls them, pearls. You know, my mom would come in when me and my brothers all slept in the same room when we were young, and he'd be just doing, father-son time. And my mom would come in talking about XYZ. He'd say, "Hey, honey, I'm giving him pearls here. I'm giving him pearls. Come back in a little bit, But a lot of those pearls were a lot of what I bring into my life and my business still, which is, compassion. It's taking care of each other. It's recognizing that this is, your family first.
How do you deal with the compassion and the competitiveness in business? How do you try to combine those two things? Because in my personal experience, that's really, very difficult. Especially how cutthroat business can be. It's hard to be super competitive while being compassionate towards your competitor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Especially
very,
if they're
very
cheating or they're doing something that they should be doing,
Yeah. And I think we could do a whole podcast on just that, because it's something I struggle with still often.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. If we have the means to help somebody and business says do it this way, but I know we can help a life, I want to do what we can to help a life. Now we're not a charity. We're working on a 501c3 to help fund anyone who wants to go through ours or another coaching program.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'd probably be way better at business without the compassion. But again, I want to get to the end of my days and look back and say, I did what I could.
Yeah. It's also, you weren't the dick, you know?
Yeah.
When it boils down to it,
Yeah, but there's a balance that I'm always navigating between, I don't know, and I think it stems from that Christian upbringing or whatever, that kind of like glorified martyr syndrome of like, I can do more, I can sacrifice more, I can give more. And I'm aware of that, and it's transformed in different ways through life. Like I used to call it the savior syndrome and stuff, and just like, I can help you and come into relationships and stuff. And thankfully I became aware of it, and I don't seek that out anymore consciously or unconsciously. But now I see it in the way that like if someone really needs help, I'd go above and beyond to try to help them any way I can. And in the process, sometimes at the end of a week, end of a day, I'm exhausted, you know?
Yeah. At what point do you let it go?
It's a question I'm still trying to answer.
Yeah. That's a tough thing, is when to walk away, right?
Yeah. But I've gotten better. I mean, hopefully. And I definitely have seen and like drawn my line, held a boundary, and just said, you know, we can take you to the water. I can't force you to drink, and I'm not going to try. So if you're not going to put in the effort, then, you know, that's where I think to answer your initial question, that's where the crossover happens for me. I will be compassionate to the point in which I'm overgiving, and then it's a pretty cut line between, okay, now I'm going to focus on the next thing. So I can be competitive towards helping someone who really does want it.
Right. Now, do you have staff under you, or is this a one-man show, or?
Yeah, we got a good small team of other coaches and a tech team, marketing team, and we're so mostly on the B2C, like when I'm helping clients. There's a lot of like the structures and the models and systems that I've built, and so I have a lot of people that I can give them the SOP and they can run a lot of the show. On the B2B, so we help other coaches now too, building up our
scaling out there.
Correct. Yeah. So we build the coaching collective, which
cool.
Yeah. So we help other
I have
coaches,
a good referral
teachers.
for you, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah. Send them over. Yeah. So we help them really refine their niche, refine their offer, help them to build their funnels, do all the techie stuff, and teach them how to do it. We hold masterminds twice a week. And then when they get to the level of like running ads, we'll help them run their ads, do it the right way so they're not wasting a bunch of money. And then we are partnered with a couple of awesome companies like DNA, Do Nothing Average. I've talked to you about them a little bit.
Yep.
That, you know, their main SKU is clean energy and collagen protein drinks that are really, really good. And, you know, the people who are doing nothing average, you know, like Corey Maggette is one of our spokesmen. Got a lot of UFC fighters that I've interviewed and that really rep the brand, because who doesn't want to do nothing average? I don't want to be average.
It's a great name. I love the marketing behind it. So I told you that. I'm like, man, that's awesome.
And it's blown up. We just landed in 180 Costco's. So go
no shit.
Go buy them up. Yeah. But nice. If you there's a QR code on all those cans, and if you scan the QR code, you'll go into the experience that I'm developing right now, which is, okay, well, if you want to do nothing average, start here. And so then you'll see all the different options that you can, you know, join a coaching program, take a course. Cool. And actually, you know, I am passionately not for our current healthcare model, but I really think the only way that we're going to see a dent or a change in it is if we provide something better. And people are waking up to it. They're like, and no longer do I just take doctor's orders and say, take this pill, take that pill, take this shot, whatever. But if there's not a loud enough or a bright enough beacon towards a better way to do it, then what are you going to do? So,
I think it all starts with food, personally. I think that's the majority of our problems. That's why people are so sick. You know, it's just your diet.
Yeah.
Once you get that dialed in, I feel like it's like what you're saying. It's like swapping the motor out. You know, all of a sudden, you have all these new senses. Feel better. You wake up earlier. You can last longer. Your mojo is better.
Heck yeah.
The whole nine, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
All of a sudden, your high blood pressure starts going away. All that stuff.
Yeah. Brain fog clears up. And,
Yeah. You don't want to drink as much, because then you really start feeling the effects. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you check your whole gut biome, man. Just how you're fueling yourself. So that's if you want to chat all about that at any time, we can. Or if anybody else wants to, we got it in a very phased approach to do the engine swap. And on the other side is just your physical body is like usually what people come for, right? Like they want to lose weight or gain muscle.
Sure.
But in that
they want the aesthetic look. Right?
Yeah, they want to look better, feel better, keep up with their
all
kids.
All in vain, baby. All in vain.
That's a lot of stuff. Yeah, but nothing against it, But if that's the motivator to get you in, awesome. But when you start seeing and feeling the difference,
use it for him,
Mm-hmm. But then you do start to feel like the the mental clarity, like your brain fog lifts
Yeah.
because you're fueling yourself with something entirely different. It's like if you're a hybrid car and you never plugged it in ever, and you just were running on gasoline,
Yeah, totally.
you have untapped potential in there. So let it be a metaphor for life. Why don't you change that around? What else? Where else have I untapped potential?
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, that's the trajectory right now. And then I mean, you've built awesome businesses. It's like there's never a closed sign. I actually have it in my phone, in my calendar, 3 days a week at like I think 7:30 or 8 o'clock. It just says closed. And it's a reminder to myself too.
7
a.m.
7:30 a.m.
No, I wish.
p.m.
PM. Yeah.
Stop working, go do something for yourself, type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise, it's like even in my TV resolution of last year, I've been really into Taylor Sheridan stuff, so I'll have like on Yellowstone or Landman or something, and I'm kind of watching it, but I'm really just still
Typing
working.
away. Yeah. Kind of doing that.
So it's like, hey, take a rest, go play the ukulele, go for a walk.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
True. Yeah.
And you teach your clients that as well.
Yeah, I mean, when they're ready for it, whatever their next best step is, for them, for most of them, it's watch less TV, or to turn off. And if you have kids or special needs kids, it's like
you have any
there is
kids?
no off switch.
You don't have any kids, do you?
No.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But
You plan on it?
I'm leaving it into the good Lord's hands. If the right person comes along,
Yeah.
then I know
You
I'd
just
be
don't
a
want to
great
feel
dad.
challenged or stressed to pop out a kid.
No.
No,
Yeah,
you don't feel that
Yeah,
that weighing on your shoulders like women at our age do.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I would like it. I think I'd be a great dad, and it'd be fun to pass on my pearls to the next generation.
Totally.
It kind of makes you immortal,
Yeah. Yeah. It's also
But-
a fun chapter of life, I think.
I think it really would. I feel
Yeah.
like if I'm just going on through life without that, I see this like just linear timeline. Whereas if you have wife and kids, then it's like, okay, there's this whole new spectrum to this line of all these different tendrils of like, cool, I'm now like, responsible for these new lives, and I'm just as invested in them. And I've just seen it in the way of my nephews. Both my brothers have 2 boys each. I don't know. I think Russos can't produce girls or something. But
You got the Viking blood.
yeah, man, something.
Yeah.
But just in the way of, I've never experienced before this baby, this kid who has no reason to deserve my love. I love completely, and that's my nephew. My nephews. So if that was my own kid, what was that going to feel like?
Right.
That'd be a fun adventure.
Times 1,000 probably.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
times 1,000.
So definitely open to it.
Well, okay, cool. So again, we're going to Washington D.C. in March.
Title of the show. We'll see you soon, Tiffany.
Yeah, right. So I think Steve was telling me, and I didn't know this, but you also have a podcast, right?
Yeah.
And that's called The Antidote.
Yeah, The Antidote.
And so why'd you name it that?
The same reason why I do what I do in everything. The goal with it is that at any time you can flip it on, any episode, and get a little dose of healing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that may come in the form of laughter, maybe come in the form of learning something, intrigue, curiosity, all on the like positive side of the emotional onslaught that is heavily covered so often by a lot of what's on the media. So, yeah, if you want to come get a dose,
The Antidote.
yeah, come get dosed up.
How often do you do episodes? Are you doing it once a week, once a month?
Man, I've gone through phases. When for me as a new, I think we've done 70, 75 episodes.
Oh, good for you, man.
Thanks. Yeah, and it started as an outlet as a coach. So often, especially in like the life coaching sense, if I just tell you the answer, it's not gonna
Do anything.
be effective, right?
Of course.
But as a coach, when I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to ask questions that maybe you'll land on what I believe is going to help you, and then nourish that with, motivational interviewing and different tools, right? in the back of my mind, it's like, you just need fucking boundaries, or you just need this.
Sure.
And I can't say it, and I don't want to. Sometimes it's like, if it's warranted and it's the right time and I've built enough rapport with the client, then perhaps. But
You pop off a little bit.
yeah, a little bit. But what it became was, okay, end of the day, now I'm going to go talk about boundaries on my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then later on, hey, I got this great podcast after a session. Like, see if
Is
it's
it on
effective.
Spotify?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. It's pretty much anywhere you can listen to.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so back then it was weekly. Now I just try to do at least once a month. You know, 'cause we got some cool people that have been coming on now too.
Yeah.
Which I don't have the whole setup like you do, so it's nice to be.
What
here.
do you do, from your computer to the other person's computer type of deal?
Yeah,
like a
usually
Zoom call.
like that. Yeah, we use like Riverside, which is a good platform for it.
Okay.
Similar.
Yeah. Puts you in a room, makes it look like you're
Yeah.
You're doing
it's
a
good
podcast.
quality. You can do good stuff in post production and whatnot. So it feels like, I don't know. I used to do them on Zoom, and sometimes like if I start talking, you know, and you're talking, then it's only going to take one voice. You
some
know?
latency to
Yeah.
kind of fucks it up.
Yeah. So we're always improving, but
Well, that's cool, man.
yeah, I'll maybe move into this space next.
Yeah, in
Love
here.
it. Yeah, man. I'll interview you, and you can talk to
Okay.
me about everything you've done to build subtle changes and skill
Yep.
set, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
being the drummer of a kick-ass band. Still
Dude.
rocks out.
Still rocking. Still rocking, dude. We
Yeah,
got to get
bro.
you up on stage. Do you play anything else besides the ukulele? You play guitar, bass, anything?
Harmonica.
You play the harmonica?
Yeah, a lot of harp, and then the djembe.
The djembe.
Yeah.
I'll get you up on the djembe, dude, and the harmonica.
Yeah, bro, let's do it.
That'd be fun.
Heck yeah.
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 It's always fun to jam with your friends.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Your guitar player and your pianist, lead singer, two of my best friends, and I do a lot of jamming with them. They really helped.
They're all at the NAMM show right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, NAMM. Are you
Yeah.
going?
I might stop in. It's
Dude, you get so much
far.
free cool shit when you're
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I might
Yeah.
stop in. Yeah, it's one of those, like, when I look back to Little Rocky, how would he say I'm doing? You know, I try to ask that
Inner child.
Yeah, inner child work. You know,
Yeah.
and then I think back to on every, like, what do I want to be when I grow up? And it was usually a rock star. You know.
Yeah. I went through that phase too.
Yeah. So
I
feel
think every kid went through the
I
phase of
don't
wanting
know.
to be a rock star, dude.
But to me, it's like, okay, I got to continue to prioritize my music.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it first, but second, I got, my inner child's going to be, what the hell, man? What are we doing about this dream?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
my
you
way
got to
of honoring
sacrifice the time to do it. That's the thing.
it. Yep. that's
Time
why-
and time and sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. If you're gigging and stuff, then
Yeah, if you're
it's-
gigging, you're playing till 1, 2 in the morning. You
Mhm.
know, like I didn't get home that one night till almost 3 in the morning.
yeah, bro, that
Yeah.
takes a toll on your body, especially if you got to show up to work and
Yeah.
make big moves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's always a balance.
So, do you want to tell everyone how they can get a hold of you? What's the whole deal here
Yeah.
for your personal coaching and for your business?
Yeah, our Instagram's pretty set up for anybody there. So if you want, come follow me at rocky.russo1.
Rocky.Russo1.
Yeah. I've had it forever. But that's a good place to start. You can check out mywholefitness.com. Reach us that way. But Instagram's the easiest way to get a hold of us.
I got off Instagram a year ago. Haven't been on it for over a year.
Yeah, I've been wondering why you haven't been replying to any of my sweet memes and
Oh,
things that I
really?
send you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I
that's
probably
good for
have
you.
thousands of messages in there, dude.
Yeah. Instagram's good. And then
You should probably
otherwise,
check in and log in on it. I bet you there's some cute girls that
Yeah.
text me that I'm
Might
not
be
checking
time,
on.
man.
Yeah, it might
Yeah.
be time. Might be
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
But yeah, it's kind of like your TV thing, right? It's kind of like taking a step out of it. I'm kind of the opposite. I'm not on the front forward of what everyone was looking at last night. You know, everyone's talking about it in the morning, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't
You
know.
haven't seen this? No idea what you're talking about.
So what have you found, and like in that journey, are you tending towards more of something else? Is it productive, not productive?
Are you talking about being on it?
No, being off it.
Being off it?
Yeah.
Well, I very first found myself doing this one thing and it really started bothering me, and I became conscious and aware of it. Was I'd be on my phone, and to do something like I gotta respond to a Teams message or to an email, and then it would involve me clicking on Instagram, and then I would start, check my messages. Then I would start scrolling through it, or I'd like watch something that like Rocky sent me, for example, you sent me, and then I'd look at it, and all of a sudden it turns into this fucking reel, and then all of a sudden you're like scrolling through this stuff, and then I'm like, I gotta stop, do that. And then I'm like typing, and then I pick my phone back up to respond to a message. Then I'm back on Instagram because the app's up,
Right.
And I kept finding. So then I started really looking at how much time I was investing in social media. Sometimes it was like 2 hours a day, 2.5 hours a day. I'm like, holy shit, what am I doing? What am I actually getting out of this? I'm not really. It's 15, 30-second, videos, funny things that my friends are sending me. It wasn't anything that I can say right now that has transformed or changed my life.
Yeah.
Period. Maybe there's some 90-day fiance emails in there that might change your life a little bit more. And you have a much larger social media presence than myself. But after I got off it, those dopamine hits started going away, and then I found myself doing other things, whether it's picking up the guitar, getting actually on the phone with someone and talking to them if I'm bored, or if I have some time. I'm not spending it on social media, I'm doing that. So my time is more rooted in actual relationships or responding to business, much more efficiently. I'm not as distracted.
100%.
It's distracting.
That's what I've seen too, man. That's that quick dopamine hit, just to like open up and get immediate stimulation. I think of how where else in life it's carrying over to.
Yeah. And then when I'm in, conversations with people sitting there, whether it's at a restaurant or a bar, and they're talking to someone, and then the person's on their phone and they're like
clearly scrolling
through it. And I'm like, just looking at everyone that's doing that. Or I'll go into a restaurant and I'll look at people, sitting there together here like this, having dinner, and, both people are on their phone looking at Instagram. They're not actually looking at each other.
Right.
There's no connection there. And it just blows my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is not serving me anymore,
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a strange beast, and something to have boundaries with. I'll often do like a detox, or I'll get off it for a little while, or have parameters. Like I'll check my screen time and where it's being spent. But then my kind of checks and balances is often, I think that we were created, and we were in our DNA is to create. And so for me, if I'm contributing to the creation, and that's why I have Instagram open, then great. I'm regularly going in, contributing, giving something, and for me, hopefully it's of value or funny or educational. But if it's like, if I can see that like I don't have a story right now, or if I haven't posted anything recently, but I'm still going in there, something's off. I'm just consuming.
Yeah, and they're making they make money off the emotional contract of how you're feeling. That's how they make money. They know if you're feeling depressed. They know if you're feeling happy. They know if you're angry, and they sell you ads based on that human emotion.
Yep. It's a strange world,
It's a really strange world. And as AI gets more and more crazier, I was like, it's probably better to be more and more off it than on it. I don't think it's mentally healthy for a lot of people, and it wasn't for me. After a certain amount of time, I was like, ugh.
I think definitely having like a curated page too. Like I will regularly unfollow accounts, so that I'm not just being bombarded with. But then they'll just sneak shit in, like even some of the like high vibration stuff. I don't know if you saw this before you got off, but it's been a year. They'll have just like an OnlyFans model, just in nothing, just like, well, that's distraction, and this is for high vibration account, but they know you're going to stay on that, and then maybe click on that, and then you're down the rabbit hole, dude. Yeah, man.
There you are.
Like, to me, that's just not even, it's unethical. Like, what? I want to follow your page. You deliver good shit, but that's why you're marketing to try to just get eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it works, but
Yeah.
man,
Clickbait.
yeah,
Classic.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, maybe best to, at least have some boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That or hire someone to run it for you.
There you go.
So I got good old Steve Knuckles over here.
Heck
Thank
yeah.
you for running my social media, Steve.
How many unread DMs does he have right now, Steve?
Who knows?
Skill sacred, not the personal account.
Yeah.
To be clear.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, brother. Well,
Personal one's probably a little too much, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. So
Keep it PG.
keep it private.
Yeah.
PG.
Well,
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. You have anything else you want to share, talk about? Yeah, anything else you want to touch base on?
not that would be like in context.
Well, let me ask you this. What was there a moment where you felt like there was a pinnacle of change in your life? Like, what was that change? Was it a large change, subtle change, small change? Where you can say that moment defined my life. That really changed my life.
A moment. I could probably give you a few.
90 Day Fiance?
No. I think that there's a lot of, maybe not a lot, but there's a small handful of moments that if we attach meaning and like sit with for long enough to get the nectar out of it, then it can be a life-changing moment. Like I could have just decided, okay, I'm done with this job, I'm quitting now. But for me, that was the genesis of what became a whole chapter of my life.
Sure.
Right, back in 2014. And so was that one of them? Absolutely. Was then me coming back to structure and recognizing, like, I could have just been doing a drill and a yoga teacher training, but I attached meaning to it. I was open to finding something sacred in it. And so it became sacred. So I think we're given all these opportunities often to make something a pinnacle or at least transformational. But I think it still is up to us to decide that I want to get to the end of my days and feel like what a blast. And that comes down to the story that we're telling around that moment and who we're deciding to be on the next side of it. So
you definitely want to look back and have no regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like I think like anything, even the mistakes that I've made. Like if you're not making mistakes, then you're not trying. Like
You're also not learning.
You're not learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep making the mistakes, but stopping to pause long enough to say, what did I learn from that? How can I integrate that?
Yeah.
Who do I want to become because of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
Integration's like the most important part, I think.
100%, dude. And that's, I mean, we could talk about medicine journeys and like, if you don't integrate that shit,
Yeah,
that's
the
how you
point
end
of
up
doing
in,
it.
That's how you end up in the loony bin. Yeah.
It's pretty true, right? Like
Yeah.
why bake a pie, half baked? You don't want that thing half baked. It needs to be fully baked, for it to taste the right way and have the right texture and, be absolutely delicious.
100%, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to flip the script, so you can stop me if you don't want to, but one of the questions you asked me, I'd love to hear your answer on.
Sure. Shoot.
That balance
Mm-hmm.
between compassion and competition. You agreed that it's a hard one to have.
It is.
Do you have a guiding principle?
Do I have a guiding principle? I always say people are our best assets, and that's a good principle. And then we can go back to our mission statement of creating a culture of retention. That for me goes to the client. It also goes to the employee. It goes to our internal staff. It goes to every single kind of vendor, everyone that we're attached to. In the beginning, I was a total dick. I didn't have any compassion for business, for competition. I was ruthless. And in our business, you kind of have to be ruthless. I think there's a fine balance of having respect for people that do it the right way and beat you competitively the right way. I have respect and compassion for those people. People that are doing it the wrong way, cutting corners, I'm not very compassionate towards them, you know, and for me, there's no need to expend that energy on someone that's doing me dirty, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I think if you beat me out the real way, the fair way, you know, you're, you know, you're not taking steroids to run faster than me, or, you know, juicing to lift strong, you know, whatever the case is, however you want to look at the, you know, the analogy. But if you beat me fair and square, then, you know, I'll have compassion. Yeah. Yeah. But if you don't, then I have no compassion for you, and I'm just gonna squash you like a bug. You know, our business is so competitive, dude. Yeah, man, it's so wild. Yeah. It's so wild what people do, the things they say about you. You know, so yeah, it's hard to have compassion. Trust me. As it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, sure, you lose more and more compassion. You know. Yeah.
Well, I know you're doing what you need to stay good in your own heart, at least to at least be able to sleep and feel good about what you're doing, because you are. I mean, at the end of the day, you're helping a lot of people.
A lot of people, and as you have more staff and employees, here's the other thing I've learned is it's a double-edged sword. When you have a tremendous amount of compassion for people, you'll start to let them walk all over you, because they'll take advantage of it, like big time, and they know it, you know, and then all of a sudden you become blind to it, you know. So you gotta really be able to balance it, and then like cut it off and be like, no, I'm not participating in that anymore. You know, I gave it to a certain point. It's like what you said, you know, I can lead you to the water. It's leadership. I can lead you to the water, but if you continue to abuse that part, you know, and abuse it and abuse it and abuse it, you know, my grandma's sick, and that's why I couldn't make it to the water, you know, or you know, my tire popped, and and now it's this excuse and this excuse, and it's like, you know what? Then when something really does happen, truly tragic in their life, I'm not very compassionate about it, because you just fucking you took all the equity out of that, you know? Yeah. You drained it.
That sucks.
And that's the hard part.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. And then you have to fire them. And then it's like, that's the worst part of the job. Yeah. That's the worst part of the job for me, is firing people. Because it's like, I did everything I could possibly do. Yeah. At least I think so, you know, and I'm not too compassionate about it, you know. Yeah. Unfortunately. I am, but I'm not, you know.
Yeah. When you gotta be objective, then it's time.
Yeah.
Like, you can only do so much.
It is what it is. You know, it's time to move on. So. Yeah. Yeah.
Good, bro.
I try to have compassion, but it's hard. It's difficult, man.
Well, you got your outlet. You got a sweet dog, so.
Little Pablitos. Yeah, he's great. He's much more compassionate than me.
He's great.
Yeah.
Well, good, man. Well, I appreciate it, and thanks for the always good talks, man.
Good always good times.
Yeah. I'll have you on mine here pretty soon.
Yeah, let's do it sometime, dude.
Yeah, we'll go deep.
When the time permits, and we both have some free time, we'll go rock out with it. It'll be great.
Yeah, and we'll do some ayahuasca.
Love for you to play some guitar too, or some ukulele.
Hell yeah, man. Let's do it.
Play the old fashioned.
Go find it right now. Spotify.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Rocky Russo. We appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming on Subtle Changes. And yeah, thanks again.
Thanks, Clint. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye, everybody.
She's a little old-fashioned. She's a little old-fashioned. Just a bit new age. She got a lot from your mama. So like her when she gonna age. She got my heart in a frenzy. And my mind in a daze. But in the story of this love, can we be on the same page?